so damn far. I know you love me, but you gotta leave now. Now you don't care about us.
Hey guys, it's Deja, the Princess of Variety, and I am back with a new Friday the 13th the game video. And I see you guys have been really enjoying my last Friday the 13th video, and I think that's really awesome that you guys are watching it and really into the information I shared with you guys in that video, because I feel like it's kind of helping the game get out there a little bit more, and I think this is going to be a really awesome game. So I'm glad you guys are really interested in it, or at least seem interested in it. So in this video, I just kind of wanted to give my feedback and thoughts on the new gameplay footage that's been posted of the game by IGN. Ronnie Hobbs, one of the gun media developers, actually went to IGN and he, I guess, played a match of Friday the 13th with some of the other developers, and they posted it online. So I kind of want to give my feedback on that, and if you guys want to watch the video yourselves, you can click the link down below and watch it. I was initially going to include some of the footage in this video so you guys could actually see what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it, but I found out that if I use that footage, then the video would be taken down because I guess it's copyrighted. So I couldn't use that particular footage, so you guys are just going to have to go watch the video after I'm done telling you guys my thoughts on it, or maybe you can go watch it before and then come back to this video and see what I said about it. So yeah, that will be down in the description box below. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about that has been released recently are the beta dates, and I kind of talked about the beta in my last video, and I said that the beta would be coming this year, so it would be coming very soon. And actually, like 2 days after I posted that video, they actually posted the release dates for the beta, and I think that's really awesome. So I just want to let you guys know what those are. So the friends and family beta dates are the 18th and 19th of this month, obviously. And that is basically for the people who pre-ordered the game when it was still $30, and the people, I guess, like their friends and family, the developers' friends and family. And then the closed beta for people who pre-ordered the game after the Kickstarter was closed. That is going to be open from the 20th to the 23rd, so 4 days total. And if you guys want to play the beta, as I had said before, it's going to be on PC, but if you want to play it, you have to pre-order the game as soon as possible, preferably before the 20th, or you probably won't get a chance to play it. Unless one of your friends gets it. And I want to tell you guys that if you or a friend pre-order the game, when they send out the beta code, you will get 5 beta keys. So 5 other people can play the beta along with you. If you want to give those keys out to family, friends, whoever, you guys will be able to play it together. So if you want to play the beta, go pre-order the game as soon as possible. Now let's get into what I thought about the gameplay footage that was released by IGN. The first thing I noticed was that you can see your objectives and the map, I guess, if you press the pause button. I'm not really sure what the key is to press. Just pull that up, obviously, because I haven't played it. But the objectives list basically shows you if a key for a particular vehicle has been found, or if gas has been put in one of the vehicles, or if the police have arrived and things like that. It just basically shows you a checklist of the things that need to be done and the things that have already been done as far as escaping and things like that. And the map shows you a lot of different things, like obviously where your location is on, like, in the game, and it also shows you where the vehicles and police are in the map. So when the police spawn, it shows you where they are on the map, and you can see it. You don't have to go searching around to find them and see where they are. And the vehicles, wherever they are, it shows you where they are on the map, and I think that's pretty cool. Initially, I didn't really consider the fact that they could put that on the map. I just kind of assumed that you would have to go find those things, but I think that makes it a lot better. You don't have to go searching high and low for these things, and you can just see exactly where they're located on the map, and I think that's really awesome. One of the things that I noticed on the objective list was the fact that it had a checklist under 2-seater and 4-seater car. So under 2-seater car, it said keys have been found, or gas has been put in the car, things like that. And then under 4-seater car, it had the same things. And I saw someone on Twitter ask the developers if the keys will be universal. So if you find a set of keys, will they work for the 2-seater and the 4-seater car? Or will it just work for one? And I think that's a really interesting question. The developer said that we're going to have to see once we play the game, but what do you guys think? I mean, what do you think would be the most ideal way for that to work? Like, do you think it would be better if the keys were universal, or do you think it would add an interesting twist to the game if the keys only worked for whatever car they're for? That's going to be really cool to see, like, how that works and whatnot. One of the most awesome things that I noticed when I was watching the gameplay footage is that, like I had told you guys in my last video, there is game proximity chat. So you will have to be close to someone in the game to be able to hear whatever they're saying in their mic, which makes it a lot more realistic instead of just being able to hear everyone all the time as usual. But another thing they added to this, which is a complete twist, which I think is really cool, is that in the game, if you find a walkie-talkie, if someone else finds another walkie-talkie on the map, you can communicate with that person throughout the game. So if you guys aren't near each other and you're just completely on opposite ends of the map, you can still talk to them because they have the walkie-talkie too. And I think that's really freaking cool. I think that puts a really cool twist on the game, and you don't always have to be in the same area as someone to talk to them. So I'm really excited to play around with that. Another thing I appreciated from the gameplay footage was the fact that when Jason is nearby, you will hear a sound play. So you'll hear the and I think that's really cool. So you'll know when he's nearby, and it's not just like he's popping up out of nowhere. Two of the things I was a little iffy about and wondering how it's really going to work when the actual game is released, and even in the beta when we play it, is the stamina and the excessive breathing. Because if you watch the footage, the head counselor, which is the guy that Ronnie, I'm assuming it was Ronnie playing as that character, he's playing as the head counselor. And when the head counselor would be running, or even when he wasn't even really doing much, he would be panting like a dog. And it was really, I don't know, it was just excessive. And it was just like, is this how it's going to be in the actual game? Because, you know, if he's breathing that much, if that's how the breathing is in the game, it's going to be practically impossible for Jason to not hear you. So I was wondering about that. I'm sure that's something they're going to work on in the game, though. Unless that's just how it is with that particular counselor. I mean, it could be completely different if you play as another person. I'm not sure, though. But yeah, that made me a little iffy about that particular feature. And then the stamina was another thing that I was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to have to really pay attention to that when I'm playing the game. Because when you're running and you run out of stamina, you start to, I don't want to say you just walk, because you don't walk, but you kind of try to run, but you can't. You're just kind of really trying to get away from Jason as quickly as possible, but you're not able to run. And it's kind of like, dang, like you really have to pay attention to your stamina, because if you aren't using it wisely, as I said in my last video, it could really screw you over if Jason catches up to you, or if he's chasing after you in general. So you have to pay attention to that. But I'm also wondering if the stamina varies with each counselor, because as I said, Ronnie was playing as the head counselor. But, you know, it could be completely different if you play as the jock or another counselor that has better stamina. I'm not sure if the stamina is the same for all the characters, or if that's one of the things that actually varies depending on who you're playing as. But that's just definitely something you're going to have to pay attention to and keep an eye on. One of the things that I thought was hilarious in the video of the footage was at the end, they are getting in the car, or they're trying to, and Jason shows up, and one of the counselors gets grabbed by Jason, and the other counselors are frantically trying to figure out if they should get out and like save him or if they should just drive off. And Ronnie, who I'm assuming was playing, I could be completely wrong, this could have been somebody completely different playing this particular match that we were watching, but I'm assuming it was Ronnie. And Ronnie's like, no, like, get out of the car or help him, to the person that was on the driver's side, because he was on the passenger side, and the person that had gotten grabbed by Jason was right outside of the driver's side, and he was telling the guy in the driver's seat, like, get out and save him. And then once they figured out, like, if they get out, they might be killed too, they were just like, never mind, just go, and they just drove and left that person to be killed. And I thought that was hilarious, because it really goes back to what I had said to you guys before about how the game is basically about you surviving. It doesn't really matter if you leave other people. I mean, it's gonna suck for them, but the game isn't about everyone escaping. It's about you escaping. So it's just funny because sometimes things like that is gonna happen, and you just have to try not to be the person that's just going to be left and slaughtered to pieces. So it's gonna suck for some people, but it's gonna be hilarious to watch for sure. I told you guys in my last video that Tommy Jarvis, which is Jason's arch nemesis in the movies, is going to be in the game as one of the playable characters. And in the gameplay footage, you actually see him come out. I guess one of the counselors had radioed him in, so you have to radio Tommy Jarvis in. And once you radio him in, you actually get to play as him. And so you actually see him pop up in the gameplay, and he has a gun, and he shoots Jason, but obviously it doesn't kill Jason or anything because Jason doesn't die. But it's going to be really cool to see how playing as him actually works. So when you're playing in the game, you can pick up different items that you find in the cabins. So maybe you'll go in one of the cabins and look in the drawers, and you'll find like a flare gun, or you'll find a noisemaker, and it shows that it's in your inventory. So I think it's cool that you can find different things around the map to help you. I mean, I'm not really sure what the noisemakers were for, but I guess the flare gun was to shoot into the air so other people wouldn't know where you are. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's going to be interesting to use those things to help you find other players, stay alive, etc., etc. Because, that just goes to show the only things that you're going to find isn't just going to be weapons and things like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. And last but definitely not least, one of the other things that I noticed when I was watching the gameplay footage was the fact that when you hide under the bed, you actually can hold your breath. And I want to see how that works a bit more, because when the counselor was hiding under the bed, it popped up and it said hold breath, and then it said to press button B, I guess, to hold your breath. And I wonder if you're going to have to tap that button to hold your breath, or hold it, or how that's going to work. But I think that's going to be really interesting, because I hadn't heard anything about the fact that you can hold your breath when you're in certain places when you're playing the game. So it's going to be really, really fun to play this game. I'm super duper excited to play the beta this upcoming week, and I'm even more excited for the actual game to be released, because I know after the beta is released, they're going to get a lot of feedback from the players, and they're going to be able to enhance and improve the actual game before it's released even more. So I'm just really excited about that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What you think about these features I've talked about, what your thoughts were as far as the IGN gameplay footage goes, and things like that. I just want to know what you guys think, and if that really helped you decide whether or not you're going to pre-order the game or not, if there were any things in the footage that you didn't really like, and things like that. I totally just remembered something that I forgot to mention. Okay, let me go over this really quick before I leave. So, when Jason is teleporting, because I told you guys in my last video that he can teleport, when he's teleporting, like VHS fuzz comes up on the screen, so you know when he's morphing / shifting, because he has two abilities that kind of lets him teleport. One lets him teleport across short distances, and another lets him teleport wherever on the map. So you know when he's teleporting, so you know that he could teleport right in front of you or near you, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, I just wanted to get that one out there before I forgot, but definitely comment what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like on this video, and I am planning on posting footage for the beta once I play it, because I want you guys to see how it is, you know, if you're not able to pre-order it or anything like that. So keep a lookout for that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.
She just turned 25. She wanna roll with young niggas like roll with the clip, hard roll with the clip.